authority, Eddie Taurus, Trevin, is a double tough individual. Having Dr. Eric Christopher ringside, a plus or a minus in your book?
I think it takes Eddie to the next level. We've seen him in this building bleed. We've seen him put people through hell. And now it's just getting worse for the opponents.
I got to agree with you. Taurus, a tremendous competitor. Having Eric Christopher at ringside for a little advice, if not a little bit of interference as he is prone to do, I think you called it exactly. Takes him to the next level.
No, at Conquer Kissimmee 14, Eric Christopher nearly sacrificed himself to try to help Eddie Taurus defeat Martin Stone in what was truly a hellacious matchup, and yet another example of why Eddie Taurus is so dangerous in our sport.
And I know under the tutelage of Eric Christopher, he's got his sights set on Jack Stevens in the heavyweight title as well. That's one thing about Eric Christopher, he always wants to be in the title picture, no matter who his protege may be.
And you got to give it to Dr. Eric Christopher. Picking guys like Eddie Taurus, bringing him into the family, so to speak. That's a great acquisition. A guy with over 20 years of experience who truly is in the best shape of his life. Taurus right now, pound for pound, could be one of the best athletes in all of CCW.
I have to agree with you on that. He's in great shape. He's got that experience under his belt, as you said, 20 years in the business. Does a lot for your activity in the ring.
His opponent from Delco, Pennsylvania, weighing in at 216 pounds, always over, Jonny Nova!
So Dan, it was back at Conquer Kissimmee 14. The CCW heavyweight champion, Jackal Stevens, just making an appearance, really first time since winning that championship a week earlier. And he said, hey, I'm putting it out there, open challenge, out comes Jonny Nova. Eric Christopher's tailing Nova, going, wait, what the hell's going on? What are we doing? And ultimately, Eric tried to get involved to help Nova win the matchup. Nova said no, ultimately losing to Jackal, but there was a show of respect. And I think the big story was backstage. What happened after the event, Eddie Taurus coming into things, the blow up between Nova and Christopher. Nova was basically like, look, they're calling me pre-show Nova. You're not paying attention to me anymore. I need something different in my career. Well, here we are tonight. I think it's a great opportunity for Nova to show how things have changed for Jonny Nova in the ring.
Well, I think you're right, and I think Nova realizes what a mistake he may have made by turning his back on his tag team partner ERA and listening to Eric Christopher to begin with. So now Nova trying to make amends, not only with the fans, but maybe some of his friends in the locker room saying he's not the bad guy everyone thinks he is.
And you can already see Eddie Taurus was already halfway there, had to be stopped by the official. But I gotta say for sure, do not underestimate Jonny Nova. For those of you who are watching Coastal Championship Wrestling for the first time, not only is he a former CCW Tag Team Champion, but this is a guy who, since about 2016, had a renaissance in his career. One of those moments, went to a camp by Harley Race out in Kansas City, and just the in-ring capabilities of Nova grew exponentially from when he started in the sport in 2009. Hell of an athlete, and I think we're getting a chance to see it here tonight.
I believe that. If you had the chance to learn with somebody that is great and incredible a competitor as Harley Race was, well, you can't go wrong. All right, the bell is sounded. This one is underway. It'll be interesting to see if there's going to be a scientific matchup here or brutality. I know Eddie Taurus is completely capable of technical wrestling.
I'm surprised Eddie Taurus is letting the CCW faithful get under his skin.
Yeah, well, they're really behind Nova here. Power and elbow tie-up, Taurus barreling back into the ring.
Come on, Eddie!
And again, back to the corner. Taurus has about right off 15 or 20 pounds on Nova. Nova out of the way. Nova definitely has the speed and agility. Taurus missing that clothesline. Nova snatching the side headlock. And we're back to square one, Trevor.
And of course, there's Eddie with a handful of hair. Official Larry Powers had just about seen it when Eddie let go, but impressive putting on the brakes there is Nova.
Well, Nova spends a lot of time in the gym. He's not on the size that Taurus does, but he's a strong individual, and he really had a good grip on that headlock. Nova corrects in midair, takes him over with a side headlock takedown. He's got a vice-like grip on that head.
And I feel like we're seeing some frustration from Eddie Torres here as well, the fact that he can't get away from Nova right now.
Let's go, Nova!
Now the match is young. I'm sure Taurus is going to find a way out of this. Dish out some brutality if I know this guy. There's some shots into the rib cage and into the midsection. That'll loosen him up a little bit, and there you go. Stand strong on that shoulder tackle. Up, went for the body slam. Nice cross body, connects. And a drop kick, beautifully done.
And it's the speed of Nova that is really the difference maker thus far.
It really has been. Taurus, though, putting on the brakes there. Driving some elbows in the side of the head, has Taurus up on his shoulders. Taurus, though, wriggling free and snapping him down. Goes for the cover, 1, 2. Only gets a 2 count.
Yeah, unfortunately, Nova couldn't get to the legs. You saw him trying to reach over there. Would have really helped with the pin, but right back to that headlock.
You're 100% right. He didn't have any weight on those shoulders. Easy for Taurus to kick out. But look at the aggression on Nova.
And that
Taurus, yeah, that handful of hair.
And we've seen it throughout this matchup from Torres as the frustration rises. Hair's being pulled, faces are being raked.
Taurus now with Nova in the corner. Watch out for Eric Christopher on the outside as the referee's that. Choking Nova.
Textbook Dr. Eric Christopher.
I mean, Trevor, did we expect anything less?
Oh, not at all. Who reviews the managerial licenses here in CCW? That's what I want to know, Dan.
I don't know. Whoever does, he's fired. Nova now firing back with right hands to the solar plexus. And that one connected, I think, with the jaw, but Torres picked him up and dropped him down unceremoniously. Torres down with the head of steam, and that cross body with Nova in a seated position. Goes for the cover, 1, 2. Nova gets that left shoulder up.
You got to wonder what's happening with the ribs of Nova throughout this matchup, from the shots earlier on to just about all the offense of Eddie seems to be at that midsection.
Right, could be softening him up for that final blow. Taurus now slapping him in the face. Nova taking none of it. Taurus, though, going to the eyes.
We'll get to find out what a bully does when the prey, so to speak, doesn't step back, doesn't stand out. Oh, come on, Eric Christopher again.
He's getting the shots in whenever he gets the opportunity. And look at the grin on the face of Eric Christopher, walking away like he didn't do a damn thing. Taurus now on the outside, going back after Hoover, sends it back into the ring.
Hopefully this is the end for Nova. Pull him by the hair to the center of the ring. Come on.
Got him where he wanted him. Now a rear chin lock. Taurus, all 240 pounds. Driving down on the back, neck, and shoulders of Jonny Nova.
If the oxygen's being cut off, Nova's having to struggle to breathe. And you hear CCW Faithful is definitely behind Nova, but is that going to help? Is that going to make the difference?
Oh, we're going to find out in a minute. And they will Nova back to his feet. He needs to get up to a vertical base to alleviate some of that downward pressure. Nova now back to his feet. Taurus yanking him back in as he was trying to get towards the ropes, it seemed.
And this is the challenge, is the more you struggle, the more you lose the oxygen, the more you use up the last energy. But wait a minute.
Oh, got a pinning combination here too. Oh, that was close. Great heads up wrestling by Nova. Now going to work with chops. Double leg takedown of sorts. Got a single leg grab now.
Could be the beginning of trying to weaken Eddie a little bit for that Nova Leaf later on in this matchup.
Could very well Trevin could make a mistake to go to that move this early though. He really hadn't done anything. Now he's got an STF. Now that's a little bit more effective.
You see the frustration on Dr. Eric Christopher's face while he screams.
And you better watch Christopher here. Nova's awful close to those ropes. Taurus got his hand on the rope. That'll break it.
Dan, you talked about the stakes in this matchup already from the perspective of Nova's got something to prove, and Eddie has the championship gold on the mind. Well, you lose tonight, you're losing all your momentum.
Right, he knows, man, important match for each of them. Nova looking for some retribution here, but Taurus also looking to climb that ladder and get a shot at the title. Beautiful power slam by Taurus.
And just the struggle to get to that power slam. Testament to Eddie.
Gets the tube down, but that's it.
Guys, Eddie Taurus are telling the story. Disbelief Larry Powers having to reiterate the 2 count.
Taurus now waiting on Nova to get up, I think. Nova 25 feet across the ring. Taurus charging. Nova out of the way. Nova now with that clothesline through the ropes, downward.
There's a flurry of offense, but the question is, how can Nova follow it up right now? Does he still have the energy?
That's what I was just going to say. He's not capitalizing. Could have gone for the cover there. But now, Eric Christopher grabbing the leg of Jonny Nova. And that gave Taurus just the moment that he needed. Sky-high powerbomb 2 and 3. He got it.
Here's your winner, the Authority, Eddie Taurus.
I didn't know that this was booked as a handicap match, Dan Evans.
I'm telling you, Trevin, it wasn't much, but it was just enough. That 5 or 10 seconds that he had Nova preoccupied by grabbing his leg was just enough for Taurus to hit that power bomb and gain the victory.
And now we get the pleasure of hearing from Eric.
Yep. He's got that mic. Does he ever not talk?
You know, buddy, I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed. All hail the Authority!
So this Eric Christopher is a piece of work. Telling Jonny Nova he's disappointed.
It's a family show, so you chose your words smartly there, because I could think of a couple other things that Eric's a piece of, but the CCW faithful here in Kissimmee are letting him know. And I agree. For a guy that had dedicated himself to you for how long in Jonny Nova, Eric Christopher just kicking him to the curb that fast.
All right, Trevin, coming up next, NWA signee and standout Rookie J takes on CCW favorite Amber Nova. Should be an interesting contest. Looking forward to that one. We'll be right back.
The following contest